Oh, great. Here we go again. Another big slice to the right. I've been working on this. I just can't seem to break this bad habit. All my buddies tell me I'm over the top. I'm chopping down, cutting across the ball. Look at this big, huge slice. Look at my data. I'm 16.4 degrees from outside in. If you want to finally learn how to stop lifting and chopping and cutting across the ball, stick around and watch this video. It doesn't get much easier or simple than this. I'm going to show you the easiest thing you can do to help eliminate that lifting and chopping scenario that you have in your swing where everything is working out and away from you, and then you chop down on it and cut across from outside in. Let's fix that today. The problem with the scenario that I just showed is when you lift your arms and club out and away from you, and everything is moving this way, off plane, literally, instantly, you're not giving yourself the best chance to make the best downswing. Now, sure, it is possible to be swinging out here, loop the club around, shallow it, and attack from the inside. Sure, that could absolutely happen, but the odds of that happening are very, very low. So this is literally the easiest way you can fix this. And this is it right here. My dad and I made this many years ago out of a wooden base. But what we've done here with this is I've taken a extra pool noodle and I've cut it to add some additional length. Now, I've inserted obviously the alignment rod into this little metal part right here, but I've added this little extra bit of noodle to extend the length of the noodle so that it is longer or taller. Now, the reasoning for this, and what you could do, you could simply take two alignment rods and just tape them together real well so you have something longer. That's the key here, because again, when you're set with this here, you want this far enough away so that you don't physically hit it, but as you are set at address, you inevitably want this noodle or rod to be essentially over your right shoulder, similar to like Ben Hogan's famous pane of glass picture. So when you see this from this vantage point, as you go to video yourself, you can see that this is inevitably just over my right shoulder. This is a wonderful way to practice, again, for those of you that I've always labeled as a lifter and a chopper. And a lifter and a chopper is not a good scenario to hit good, solid golf shots. So again, someone that is doing this, lifting and chopping, working from outside in, slicing the ball. What we want to be able to do with this is to work slightly underneath it, and then from there, work underneath it again on the way down to attack from a more shallow path or a more inside path from an inside out scenario, and with a little bit of closure or release, closing of the club face through the hitting zone, the right hand working over the left as a right-handed golfer, to be able to hit some draw shots. Your distance is going to go up and scores are going to come down. I recently had a student, we were doing this drill. He came back the following week and I said, hey, did you have a chance to work on the noodle drill? He said, yeah. He says, I found a great way to do it. And I said, let me hear it. I'm all ears. I'm always listening to my students. A lot of times they have some cool ideas even I haven't thought of or heard about. But what he told me is he took his noodle and in the backyard, in just a regular normal fence, he stuck the noodle through one of the holes of his fence. So he's got his fence right here like this, and he stuck the noodle right into one of the holes of the fence, and he had it where it was sticking out just above his trail or right shoulder. I said, what a great idea. Now, he's in his backyard. He wasn't able to hit balls with that. But where he had this extended out far enough, he was able to make practice swings for like half an hour every day after work. And I'll tell you what, when he came back that following week, his swing was incredibly different than what it was the previous week. Because what he was doing is he was making more of a rounder, flatter, however you want to term it, backswing and downswing, and he was getting exceptional results. So let's see what we can get. Let's try this here. So what I always recommend to my students is do a few rehearsals, look at it, see it, watch it, get that visual in your mind of what it is you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. So you can, like I say, do this a little slower, see it, feel it, try to get an idea and understanding of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Then after you do that a few times, You could even do this with no ball, and then you can go here, here, here. You can make a fuller swing. Then after you do that a number of times, then I would be watching where your would-be golf ball would be. Make some swings like this with what you were just rehearsing and feeling over and over and over again. So do this here, here, here. Very, very good. After you do that a bunch of times, then slowly start to incorporate hitting a ball. The objective here, especially if you have access to a launch monitor or data, you would love to be able to see some sort of an inside-out path. The goal here is going to be, number one goal is to see some sort of an inside-out path. I'm not too concerned at the moment where the ball goes. I want to see if the path is better. I want to see if my overall swing shape is more rounder, shallower, flatter, because that in and of itself is a huge turnaround, again, from somebody that is lifting and chopping. So let's see what we get. I'm going to rehearse that a few times. Here, here, here. One thing I will caution you with, though, is you don't want to yank the club way inside and way under the plane. That is too excessive. That's why I say initially, check and see, literally look what you are doing. Check this and watch this. You just don't want that club getting whipped in way in here. This is too far around you, too behind you. Typically, this scenario leads to a club that comes down over in this direction. So you obviously don't want that. So as I tell students, you want to work back where you're kind of just missing the noodle, let's say. You're working your club head, quote unquote, straighter back. So let's see what we can get. The goal here is some sort of an inside-out path. Not too bad on the green. I would have loved to have seen a little bit more of a draw, to be honest with you. But again, my first objective was to see some sort of an inside-out path. And what we saw right there is 3.5 from inside out. Beautiful, fabulous. I was no longer over the top. Now after I hit a few more shots, if the ball kind of hangs out to the right a little bit, well, I know I need to just close the face a little bit more. A little more closure to the face, hit that draw. It's going to have the overspin. I'm going to get more distance. Your scores are going to come down. And as you know from watching many of my YouTube videos, I offer a free swing analysis. All you need to do, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Doesn't get any easier than that. And as a thank you, you'll see down below in the first pinned comment is a link to my website. Fill out the little form, and I'll tell you how you and I today can get started on your free swing analysis.